3-0 win today, which obviously the result's a good one. But in a purist sense, were you happy with that performance?
Yeah, it's wrapped. Look, it got scrappy towards the end of the second half there. I think the boys were just died. You know, they've dug deep in the last couple of weeks with some bad performances. And we've asked a lot of the boys at training to come in and work really hard, and it probably showed at the end of the game. Probably the last half an hour today, to be honest. You know, the boys looked really tired. They just ground out a win at the end today.
Yeah, you looked a little frustrated towards the end of the match there. Was that about lack of ball retention or the fact that they were fatiguing? Or?
I'll be honest, mate, I got sort of more frustrated with sort of comments I was hearing around, and it sort of irritated me a little bit when I could see the boys are hurting and they're working hard, and that's when you sort of need support from people up in the stands, and I didn't feel they were getting it. I don't think they deserved some of the comments, that's what sort of frustrated me. I was not frustrated at the performance because I thought, sure, it wasn't great football, but I thought the boys were just trying to do what they could today. Some boys were really hurting today with some injuries, and they just dug deep and got the job done.
We knew we were going to be up against it later on. I mean, we're playing against a team of full-timers, and we matched them for a large proportion of the game, but we knew that they were still going to be going in the 90th minute, and possibly we were going to be hanging on, but we just had to do what we had to do to get the victory, and we did. So we were well pleased.
Certainly there's that fitness angle about it. You expected them to stay strong through the 90. Technically also, would you say that they were one of the better sides you've faced this year?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't play space age football or anything like that. I mean, they weren't averse to getting the ball into your half as quick as they could. They definitely have tactics where they break quick in the transition. The counter-attacking football is quick. I don't know that they were technically any better than they're certainly quick, and they're certainly got good touches and that. But this is a good league. There's a lot of good teams in this league, so I don't know that they're any further ahead than anybody else. I mean, they're certainly fitter and they're fast. So.
Okay, got away to a good start again tonight, which obviously is always important. You caught the Harimau Muda defence out with a long ball that Turtle managed to nod into the net. Was that a deliberate tactic? Had you studied them and decided that might be one way to catch them?
It wasn't necessarily a deliberate tactic, but it's one thing we worked on, and it was more the runs that we're making. And it's not necessarily runs to get the ball in behind, it's more to open things up for other players. But obviously if that ball's on to be played, then it's a direct route straight on a goal, so why wouldn't you? But it's not something we worked on tactically today. No.
Okay, now you did have to play a lot of the game without the ball. So given that, were you happy with the way the team defended?
Well, they knew they had to be committed for the whole 90 minutes because, as I say, this team was going to keep going for that time. And yeah, I was happy. I mean, I thought everybody put in and did what they were asked to do, and tried to keep it up for as long as they could. And I think everybody deserves a pat on the back for that, all of the players.
Now, one of the changes you've made structurally over the last week since the Western Pride game is to move Dan Partridge into a screening role. Has he been influential, do you think, in steadying the team?
Yeah, we sort of looked at each other today and said he's been really solid in there, and he seems to hold his shape really well, and he wins a lot of ball, and his distribution's quite good as well. So I think the last couple of games has probably been a standout for me in terms of just quality for 90 minutes, and he certainly works hard, and he seems to suit that position really well. It was a bit of a gamble putting him in there, and it was just something we were a bit concerned about over the last couple of weeks, that area of the field. We had a couple of injuries in that area as well, so he's done a great job. He's a good player, he's a good lad, and hats off to him. He's done well in two positions for us.
And now, next game, you've got a week to prepare, and you've got Brisbane Raw Youth. Are you expecting a similar kind of intensity and test from them as you got tonight?
Well, we've seen them training, obviously, often enough, and they do train pretty intensely, and it's high pressure and it's high tempo, so we're expecting that. But at least, you know, they're high pressure, high tempo, so approach from them, possibly even more so than today.
This will be a confidence booster for the boys, though, I'd imagine, looking up ahead to that game.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, they deserved it today. In my opinion, they worked really hard, and like I said, you could see them really start to tire towards the end, and they just dug deep. And yeah, it wasn't pretty, but you know, you could see that they had that determination there to try to make sure they finished the game with the lead, and they did it.